Good morning and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program that is organized by Shri Gyan Mandir Vidyapith. Students, recall we are doing chapter number 1 from Prachi textbook. Little bit more content is given in Prachi textbook as compared to NCERT, which we have done. So we need more time in the revision. Let's have a quick look at first. Welcome to So I hope you remember which chapter we are doing. We are doing chapter number 1. Okay, all the textbook things will go through it. This is the part from where we stopped last time, and these are the oral question answers that name any two commonly used agricultural implements. Plow, hoe, which is the process of turning and loosening up the soil, called as. What is that process? Write these 5 answers. Any modern method which is used for water deficient and uneven land. 2 crops that need regular irrigation but not the standing water. All these things we have done. Process of sowing the seeds by scattering, it is called as broadcasting. So try to write the answers quick. I am giving you 1 minute time. You have to write these answers. We have done this content in our last particular lecture. Try to recall, in our last lecture we have done about this. So I hope you are ready with the answers. Commonly used agricultural implements, hoe and plow. Or you can write any other. Process of loosening and turning up the soil, it is called as tilling or plowing. Then by hand you are scattering, it is called as broadcasting. This we have done in our last lecture. Best suitable for the water deficient and uneven land, it is the drip irrigation. Two crops that need regular irrigation but not the standing water: wheat, cotton. So these are the answers. Kindly check your answers and then we'll move further on the next particular topic. So let's move further. Application of fertilizers and manures, very important topic. Fertilizers and manures. The upper layer of the soil is rich in various nutrients. So plants need nutrients for their growth, and this plants, when they are taking all the nutrients, the soil fertility decreases, and that is the reason why we need to add manure or fertilizer. So that is the reason we need to add it. Some commonly used fertilizers are given over here, and you have to remember the name of it. Diammonium phosphate. Diammonium, ammonia means nitrogen will be there. Phosphate for phosphorus. NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Urea, it is containing majorly nitrogen. Superphosphate of lime, calcium and phosphate. Calcium ammonium nitrate, CAN, it is containing calcium and nitrogen. This is very important table, and here are the advantages of the fertilizers. Each fertilizer will provide a particular type of nutrient. So whichever the plant is in need of, that will be given to it. So that is again a very important point. They are crop specific. They are the concentrated source of the soil nutrients. Next is they are easily stored and handled, and they are soluble in water, so it becomes easy. Then broadcasting, it is scattered into the fields, then through irrigation directly added into the water, it will reach to the plants. The difference between the fertilizer and manure. What is fertilizer? Fertilizer is an inorganic substance, while the manure is an organic substance. Fertilizer will provide a specific nutrient, manures will provide all the nutrients. Fertilizer has high concentration of plant nutrients, manure is having low concentration. This is a very important difference, just note it down. Next is the protection from the weeds. Weeds, what are weeds? Since your lower standards you are learning that the undesirable plants, what are they called as? Weeds. And there are many methods using weedicides, removing them, manually removing them through some particular agricultural implements. So here it is. How can we remove the weeds? Weeds are the undesirable plants that are grown along with the main crop, and the main crop will not get particular amount of water, sunlight, and it will fight with the main crop and not allow the main crop to grow properly. So we need to remove those weeds. The example of the weeds are amaranthus, wild oat, chenopodium, so which are generally grown in the wheat fields. The process of removing weeds from the crop, it is called as weeding. How it is done? By pulling it out manually or by using a trowel like this, or a harrow, that is a very big comb like implement. The structure of it is like a comb, and by spraying the weedicides. The chemical substance that will kill all the weeds, that is called as weedicides, and the name of common weedicides are this: 2,4-D, that is 2,4-dichlorophenoxy acetic acid, MCPA, 2-methyl-4-chloro-1-phenoxy acetic acid, and butachlor. This can come in the MCQ, that which of the following is the common weedicides, so you have to be prepared. Next is protection of crops from birds, animals, and disease. So there are various ways by which we can protect the crops from the birds, from the animals, and from the disease. Crops can be protected from stray animals by following ways. First is protection from stray animals. The very first one is just do the fencing. Okay, बाहर एक झाड़ी मुक्की दीवानी and don't allow anyone to enter. Protection from the birds. It can be done with the help of these things, that is beating a drum, whenever the drum is beaten, the birds will get afraid and they'll fly away, or with the help of a scarecrow. For the disease, various types of disease in chapter number 2, microorganisms, you have studied. Various types of disease are there in the plants, and they are caused by fungi, bacteria and viruses. They can be prevented. These are the ways: the rust and smut, they are the fungal disease. Blight of the potatoes, again it is a fungal disease. Wilt, it is caused by bacteria. And blast, a paddy crop disease caused by fungi. Protection against the plant can be achieved by any of the following methods, which are over here. Whenever you are sowing the seed, see that it is the disease resistant. Then treat it with the fungicides and spray insecticides, pesticides and fungicides with the help of the sprayers like this, so there will be no problem of any kind of disease. Next is protection from the pest. With the help of aircraft, you can see the pesticides are sprayed. This we had not done when we were doing NCERT based content. Pests are those organisms that are going to harm the plant. Best example is a rat, bird, insects. All these crops can be protected from pests by using chemicals, and pesticides will kill pests, but it will not harm the plant. The chemicals which can kill only insects, they are called as insecticides, while pest, it is called as pesticides. Here you can see pesticides is sprayed by using aircraft. Next, pesticides, it can be also dissolved into the water, and through the hand sprayers it can be, but that takes more amount of time. When the area to be covered is very large, at that time low flying aircraft is used like this. And BHC, it is the common name of its common name is this Gamaxine, and this Malathion, Dimecron and Polathion. So these are the commonly used insecticides. You have to remember the name. What care should be taken while using pesticides? Whenever the pesticides are used, keep your nose and mouth covered and use the hand gloves. See that wind blows away from your face, otherwise what will happen? By some or the other means the pesticides will be inhaled, which is again a very big problematic thing. Immediately after spraying, just wash your hands, face thoroughly with clean water. Next is harvesting and threshing. What is the meaning of these two words now, harvesting and threshing? Harvesting means it is the process of gathering a matured crop. Okay, it is done manually with the help of the sickles or a harvester. Harvested grains are called as crop. Harvesting time, it is very important. During that time we need to collect all the crop, and whenever it is having moisture content less than 14%, at that time we need to take it. Cereal crops color will become golden yellow. Even sometimes, even in the MCQ, the colors can come, so you have to remember the color golden yellow. Next is process of separating grains from the harvested crop, that is called as threshing. It may be done manually whenever you are striking it against a hard surface, and there are machines which are you doing both the things, that is harvesting and threshing. Next is after threshing we need to remove the chaff from the crop, and that can be done by winnowing like this. For them also we are having the various machines. This is the combine, that is the harvester and thresher. This is the winnowing machine. Next is storage. Crops are very important and we need to store it for some amount of time. Throughout the year and every place, all the countries are keeping it. And moisture, what it will do, it will promote the growth of fungi or bacteria, and it can spoil the food grains. So we have to dry it and then we have to store it. Generally most of the times with the help of sun, the excess moisture can be removed. Uh, at domestic level, that means when very small amount of containers of tin or iron or mud or clay they are used, that is at homes. At the commercial level, that means when you want to store it for a large for more amount of food grains need to be stored, at that time we are using gunny bags or grain silos. In gunny bags, when they are filled at that time, gunny bags are not directly kept near the wall or on the directly on the floor. 60 to centimeter away from the walls and about 10 to 15 meters away from the ground it is stored. The pathways called alleys are used so that from that pathway the fungicides and everything can be done in between the stacks. Here it is, the gunny bags, which are again covered with the plastic sheets, and this is the grain silos, the very big cylindrical thing. When quantity of food grains stored to be very large, very big, at that time this type of silos are used. The tall cylindrical storage structures, and whenever needed we can remove from it. Cold storage, perishable food items, for them we need lower amount of temperature, and ultimately lowering the temperature will inhibit the growth of bacteria. Okay, it will slow down the process of growth of bacteria, yeast and molds, and ultimately the food will remain good. Low temperature, it will help the food material to retain the nutritive value. At home, what we are using, the refrigerator. On the commercial case, deep freezers are used for cold storages. It is, deep freezer means what? It is a very big cabin like thing where temperature is kept low. Then comes buffer stock. What is buffer stock? Means in order to meet any of the requirement which is not even in the season, that also at that time also we get that particular crop. Crops are seasonal, and its yielding will depend on many factors. Sometimes there are heavy rains and sometimes there are no rains. So we need to keep the stock. Okay, right now we had as the talk. So the country is having a favorable buffer stock of food grains that were used during the lockdown. Okay, now come on, try to write the answers of these questions quickly. Now, let's have a look at the answers of the given questions. Which of the following two, manure or fertilizer, is man-made? Come on, tell. Which of these two things is man-made? It is the fertilizer which is man-made. Name a commonly used fertilizer that is containing nitrogen, NPK, and very common one. Huge reserve stock that is held by the government agency, it is called as buffer stock. Then next, chemical used for protecting crops from the pest, it is called as pesticide. Then next, two machines that are used for harvesting, that is combine and the harvester. So you can check the answers accordingly. Okay. So now let's move further. The next particular content which is given over here, that is the foods from the animal sources. Among them, the very first one is of dairying. Plants and animals, they are major sources of our food. Milk, it is again a very important material for us. Daily, the day starts by having the milk or the tea. Tea, in that also the main thing is the milk. So our whole of the daily routine is depending on this particular thing, that is milk. We obtain milk from the animals like cow, buffalo, goat and sheep. The buffaloes and cows, they are the major source of milk in our country, and the rearing of cattle for producing milk on the large scale, that is called as dairying. A very important definition. The various dairy products are given over here: the milk, curd, butter, ghee and ice cream. Then the next, the poultry farming. If we talk about it, the poultry includes the birds like the chicken, hen, ducks, geese and turkey. These are generally called as fowls. They are good source of animals in the form of eggs and meat. Yes, we get the eggs from them and their bodies are used as for consuming in the form of meat. Eggs and meat, they are very rich as far as protein is concerned. Rearing and breeding of the poultry for eggs and meat, it is called as poultry farming. The place where poultry are reared on the large scale, it is called as poultry farms. The fowl will lay egg and it will sit on the eggs for about how many days? 21 days, and this period is called as its hatching period. After this period, the eggs will crack and naturally the hatching will be done. It will provide necessary moisture and warmth to the eggs. In poultry farms, hatching is done by using incubators. The temperature and moisture incubators are also, moisture as well as temperature, both are controlled into the incubators. Poultry care, it requires good care for food, shelter and the disease control. During growing period, they need these things, that is enough space and restricted and calculated feed. Appropriate amount of nutrients should go into their body. During the laying period, that means when they are the eggs are getting given, that is at the till the sexual maturity comes into them, from that time till they are laying eggs, during that time they need this much things: enough space, proper light, sufficient water and the feed which is rich in protein, fat and in vitamin A and K. Then comes fisheries. What is fish? It is an aquatic animal, that is the animal which is there present in the water. Fish and seafood, they are very rich in proteins and iodine, and for those who are living near the coastal areas, it is the major diet. On the large scale, when the farming of the fish is done, it is called as pisciculture. Special ponds are also developed as hatcheries, and these are called as artificial or man-made hatcheries. They provide sufficient light and oxygen. The hatcheries with circulating water ponds, lakes and canals are called as natural hatcheries. The use of natural hatcheries has improved the survival rate of fish from 30 to 95%. So that is again a very good thing. The fish which breeds in the sea water, that is called as marine fish. Where are they found now? And if we talk about India, then in India they are found near the Kerala, West Bengal and Mumbai. The fish which breeds in water bodies like ponds and rivers, that is called as water fish. In order to maintain good fish farm, healthy states are needed and regular monitoring needs to be seen, that is they are having proper amount of TDS, pH and the dissolved oxygen in that. Then comes apiculture. What is apiculture? The rearing of honeybees on a large scale, that is called as apiculture. Honeybees, they will produce honey, and honey, it is rich in sugars, minerals and enzymes. You also know that it is also used as an Ayurvedic medicine. Honey is produced by honeybee from the nectar of the flowers and kept in the beehive. All the activities such as laying of the eggs and rearing of the larvae takes place in that combs. Life cycle of honeybee will last 16 days through the 4 stages: egg, larvae, pupa and honeybee. Egg will get converted into larvae into 3 days, larvae to pupa it takes 6 days, pupa to honeybee again it takes 7 days. This is how in 4 stages its formation takes place. And extraction of honey from the beehives, it is carried out through honey extractors, and it needs to be carried out with a particular experienced group of people. Here are the some particular questions which we'll discuss. Okay, quickly you can try to write the answers. So let's have a look at the answers. To any 2 dairy animals, milk, goat. Production of fish on large scale, it is called as pisciculture. And for how many days? You are knowing, for 21 days it will sit on the eggs. Nutrient which is present in the fish, it is containing protein and iodine. Then by which name those people who are extracting the honeybee from the beehive called as? They are called as honeybee extractors. And this is the exercise which, now coming to the exercise questions. After completing the theory part, we are now going to have a look at the exercise. For the exercise, you need to open up your textbook and go on the exercise. We'll discuss all the questions which are given over here. One by one, you can see over here there are 5 particular questions. That is the very short question answers, just 1 word or 1 line answer. Next, answer in short, that is about 2 to 3 lines. Long question answers, that is to be answered in 20 to 25 words, and coming to the tick the following and define the following terms. Okay, so let us discuss the exercise. The very first one, name the agriculture implement which is used for sowing the seeds. For sowing the seeds, it is plow, seed drill. These are used for sowing the seeds. Next, would you sow the seeds which are floating in the water? You already know. We have discussed that seeds which float on the water cannot be sown. Why they cannot be sown now? They cannot be sown because they are damaged crops. They are damaged seeds and they are not going to give a proper crop. There will be ultimately a crop failure when they are being sown. So you cannot sow those seeds. Next, which crop is grown in the rainy season? It is the kharif crop which is grown in the rainy season. Next, what is the rearing of honeybee on large scale called? Rearing of honeybee on large scale, it is called as apiculture. Next, name any two dairy products: milk, cheese, curd. These are few examples of dairy products. Next, give two advantages of sowing by transplantation. The roots will penetrate better if the transplantation is done. Next, it will enable the selective cultivation of healthy seedlings, so crop production will be better. So these are the advantages of growing the plant by transplantation. Next, how are fertilizers applied to the soil? There are two ways by which the fertilizers can be applied. The very first one, by broadcasting. Through broadcasting, we will be able to apply the fertilizers properly, but care needs to be taken. Second is through water. Just mix up the fertilizer with the water, and drop by drop with the water the fertilizers can be sent. Next, why should seeds be treated with fungicides before sowing? We need to treat it with fungicides because if at all any amount of moisture content and anything remains in it, and there is a possibility that the crop disease may occur. Okay, so we need to treat it with fungicides. We'll get a healthy and a disease free crop if at all we are treating it with fungicide. Next, how are perishable foods stored on commercial basis? On the commercial basis, we need to use the cold storage or deep freezers. What will they do now? They will lower down the temperature. When the temperature is lowered down, the bacteria's action will be stopped, and that's how food can be stored for a longer duration of time. Next, name the commonly grown cereal crops: wheat, rice, maize. These are the commonly grown cereal plants. Next, the very long answers. Describe two main crop seasons, mentioning the period of sowing and harvesting. There are two crop seasons, the Rabi crop season and the Kharif crop season. Period of sowing, if we talk about the Rabi crops, it's October or November, and period of harvesting is the March or the April. Kharif crop, for it, the sowing period is the June or July, while the harvesting is the September or October. Next, why is land plowed and leveled before sowing? We have already discussed that for the better penetration of the root, we need to plow it. The proper amount of air needs to be supplied so that the plant's roots can grow properly. It will even enable or promote the growth of useful bacteria into the soil, and whatever is the nutrient rich soil that will come up, and the unwanted plants or weeds, they will be uprooted. That means it will be removed. So it needs to be plowed and leveled before sowing. Why is leveling done now? The bigger bigger chunks which we are getting when we are plowing, that it can be disintegrated into small pieces. Protect the upper layer of the soil from the erosion by wind or water, and prevent the water logging and promote uniform irrigation. Next, explain transplantation. Which crops are sown by this method? What is transplantation now? In transplantation, we are sowing some amount of till 4 to 5 leaves whenever it is coming, till that amount of time we are keeping it in the nursery. Then from nursery beds we are sending it to the field. Why is this done now? It is done so that we get better crop production, healthy crop production, and some of the crops which are grown by this method is rice, tomato, onion, chili, etc. Next, what is drip irrigation method and why it is considered the advantageous? In drip irrigation method, we know that as the name implies, drip irrigation, that is drop by drop, the water is supplied. So when drop by drop the water is supplied, at that time what happens is the amount of water wastage will be very less, and whatever amount of water is needed and continuously it will be given to the plant so that it will grow properly. Next is, how will a manure differ from a fertilizer? We have already discussed manure is something which is containing, manure is containing all the organic substance. Fertilizer, it is containing inorganic substance. Manure, it can never have any kind of side effect and it is containing all the type of nutrients, but in lesser proportion. In a fertilizer we get more amount of a particular nutrient. Only one or two or maximum three nutrients are there in any particular type of fertilizer. So when there is need of any specific nutrient, any particular element, at that time fertilizers are preferred. Next is, take the odd one out, giving a reason. The very first one you are having tube well, transplantation, rahat and drip irrigation. Here transplantation will come because all the other are the methods of irrigation. Trowel, cultivator, plow and dhekli. Here dhekli will come because the rest are the agriculture implements. Next, threshing, winnowing, harvesting, waterlogging. That from them waterlogging will come because other all are related to harvesting. Next, buffer stock, silos, gunny bags and cold storage. In them cold storage will come because rest are the ways of storing the food grains. Next, eggs, incubator, poultry and milching machines. In them milching animals will come because other all are related with the poultry. Next you are having the definitions. Horticulture crops. What are horticulture crops now? Horticulture crops are those crops which for them the garden based crops need to be grown, like all the vegetables, fruits, flowers, they are coming under this category. Transplantation, the process of transferring a seedling or from a nursery to the main field, that is called as transplantation. Broadcasting, it is the method of sowing the seeds, that will scatter the seeds in all the direction. Then the cereal crops. Pisciculture is there. In pisciculture, it is the production and rearing of fish on the large scale in the nurseries, that is called as pisciculture. Cereal crops, that is the crops that are the nutrition based crops. Example is rice, wheat, maize, and these are the most commonly used cereal crops. So with this we complete even the exercise based question, and that's all for the content of the day. Thank you so much my dear students for listening to me. And next, in the next particular session, we are going to discuss with the next particular chapter's important questions and a quick review on that particular chapter. So that is all for the content of the day. Thank you so much for listening to me and have a very good day. So that's all. Have a good day. Bye bye.